What do you say? Fire in the hole, brother?
Fire in the hole. Let's go.
All right, let's get this thing going. Ready?
Right. Yep.
This is for what we're entering in right now. Dance season, baby.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
Yes. Have you ever seen these guys? Or did you ever see the guys?
No, I never got a chance, man.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was way too young to get more than like 3 blocks away from my house at that time. I was a freaking hellion. Yeah.
When Bonham passed away, I knew a bunch of folks. They were coming up to the Silver Dome up in Detroit.
Oh no!
And they had tickets.
Is that the show the show that never happened?
The show that never happened.
Oh,
they had tickets.
Oh, you got to save that ticket. Man.
No, I don't have it, but they have those. They have those tickets.
You have to.
And so what they did was they were coming to Detroit, and Bonham passed away, and then that was it, right? They had all these tickets, man. I'm sure out there. I bet you on eBay you could probably go out there and you can find. tickets.
For a Zeppelin fan, that's a nostalgic thing to have.
Oh,
it's more of a cool memory. I mean, well, now that you're older, you know what I mean.
Now
that would suck like hell when you're young, getting ready to go to the show.
Now, a couple years ago, they did reunite with Bonham's son playing drums. Right?
Yeah. They've done some things here and there, but
now I never saw Zeppelin, but got really close, and that's because a number of years ago we were up at the Palace in Detroit, and we saw the Who, and the warm-up band for The Who was Robert Plant, of all people.
Okay.
He sang some Zeppelin songs.
Oh, I'm sure he would. He'd have to. I mean, I would take it.
So, you know what?
I'll take it.
I kind of heard Zeppelin, man.
If you justify that in your own mind, but I get
sort of heard Zeppelin,
Yeah, and I'm sure
beautiful.
people that watch David Lee Roth sort of seen Van Halen.
Van Halen, that's right.
I
mean, even from a distance.
Well, even when he had Steve Vai in the band, you ain't really dropping off.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, arguably it might be an upgrade to some people. But,
that's true. That's a good point.
Oh,
yeah, that'd have been awesome to see them. But, it's I still love their albums, love these songs. They're great. Hey, dude, this is podcast number 25, man.
Unbelievable.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Thursday, March 9th, and you are?
I'm Fire.
And I am Brim Double. I'm Stone from fireandbrimstone.com, Fire and Brim on Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. It's burning up. Everywhere we could look, we're just burning up.
Yeah.
Now they're 25.
Our minions are everywhere.
You know what? And they're growing by the day. So, hey, last week, was that not a blast to see Chase again? Or talk
that
to
was
him
a great
again?
time. That was a great time.
It was an absolute blast, dude. It's just, he is such a cool kid.
Boy, there's a young kid living his dream.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine that?
Crazy.
Can you imagine that?
No,
we can't. That's why we're here, and he's doing what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was an absolute blast. And, his buddy, his buddy Carl Larson.
Man, I'm telling you what, he's knocking on victory's door, man.
I know.
I tweeted that out there. He in the next 4 or 5 races, I think he's bringing one home, man.
I think so too.
He's just right there. He's lurking.
Yeah, and Chase is obviously a big follower of him. But you're absolutely right. Larson is impressive with that target card, Chip Ganassi,
I think he's 6th in the standings now. I mean, come on, man. That's rocking.
Good start.
Rocking.
So we are still waiting for that phone call from Chase or the Richard Petty driving experience.
Yeah.
If Chase can't make it, they're calling. Apparently, we're number 1 on the list. They're going to give us a call and say,
do you know anyone who can drive? We heard you guys know some people.
Tell you what, it would be a heck of an experience for whoever is in the car. Even if it's a professional driver in the other seat, he would. It'd be something else. And you know what? He did invite us, didn't he, to go see him in someplace.
We'll take him up on that.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should. Bristol. I know you have never been down to Bristol.
No, I have not. So
Bristol is
a little short track, man. That's okay, man. I coming from Lima, we had little Lima land. We had a little small dirt track, so I know how the short track game goes. So
Bristol, the banking is so severe in Bristol that the cars, if you go sideways, if you just park sideways, they will slide down the track. It's that severe in the corners because they have to. It's just a bull ring that goes around like that. It's awesome, man.
It is.
It's so we're going to target one that's got to be Bristol to go on down there. So we also talked last week. You brought up True Grit.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah. The remake.
Yeah, the remake.
The better one, by the way.
I think so. I don't know if you heard anything. I had some people, giving me some feedback on that.
I had some Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had some Facebook hits on that. Most people were thinking the Duke,
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wonder how many people even watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many people watch the Bridges version because they're like, oh, John Wayne versus anyone? John Wayne.
Yep.
I get that. But Jeff Bridges rocked that character in that movie, man.
Dude, I got to tell you, I have to completely agree with you. Give me some knuckles on that, man. He just fit that character.
He was every bit Rooster Cub.
Yeah, that was absolutely him.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we throw a poll out there, man?
Oh, that'd be fun.
We'll throw that on Twitter.
You can do that on Twitter.
We'll
That's right.
On Twitter, we'll say which version.
Who did you like better?
It'll be like 90% for the Duke, but out of that 90%, 70% won't even have seen Jeff's version.
Yep.
That's my prediction.
You can't go bad on either one. So we've got some other things to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Instead of maybe another road trip
Well, not instead of, but prior to. This is our first one.
Yep.
Next week, we will be at the Pinnacle in Maumee for the Jimmy V March Madness.
Cool.
There's some great local sponsors and obviously the Jimmy V Foundations for a great cause.
Awesome. And you can go out to jimmyvmarchmadness.com.
Yep.
And you can look this up. And it is all day. And
11:30 to 11:30.
Oh, I know. St. Patty's Day.
$50 a person, $75 a couple. Get you all the food, pizza, subs you can eat. Lots of green beer, of course, because it is St. Patty's Day.
You're going to have to have a green bear, dude.
4 humongous TVs to watch the tourney games.
We're going to watch some tournament ball here.
I mean, what kind of timing for a Jimmy V, celebration than March
for
Madness?
For a heck of a cause, too.
Absolutely.
An absolute heck of a cause. I remember that guy when he was coaching. He was just the most effervescent dude that you would ever see.
He was always happy and positive and energetic, man. He was
right, and he told some great stories. One of my favorite Jimmy V stories was he was interviewing an assistant coach. And the assistant coach is asking, Jimmy V wants to talk about basketball. The assistant coach asks, well, what about the dental plan here? And Jimmy's like, dental plan? What do you? Here to talk about basketball, man. Do you want to know about the dental plan? And he goes,
I can see his face too. I can see him going, what?
What is this? And so so Jimmy goes, well, it's a very simple dental plan we have here. If we don't win, the alumni kick our teeth in.
Well,
does that sum it up or what?
That's it. You really don't have to research that for authenticity. That sounds like him.
That is absolutely
but anyways,
beautiful.
man, if you can get out there, and come celebrate with us, like you said, there's some great Toledo sponsors: BCSN, the Carroll Insurance Group, Glass City Grind, Feller and Finch. It's at the Pinnacle.
Yep.
It's for a great cause.
And we're going to have some cool people to interview too.
There's going to be a very good crowd there. An interesting spectrum of Toledo athletes, and just great people to interview and help.
Absolutely, and we'll get all that, and we'll get it to the Facebook, Twitter.
Yep.
The site. We'll get it all out there to make
up.
sure everybody's got the links on that. And again, that's the jimmyvmarchmadness.com. If you can go out there, and you'll see all the information on that, and looking forward to it, man. That's going to be an absolute.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a fun learning experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're all involved.
No doubt about it. So we talk about football all the time. Check, right?
Yeah.
Love football. In fact, later, let's talk a little bit about everything that's been going on with the free agency. Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff going on here, man.
Yeah, it's a hot mess.
Oh, I know. It's awesome. Awesome for some, and then, hey, you never know.
There's a lot of money going around.
There is the money that flies all over the place. I can't get...
We're in the wrong business.
No doubt about it.
We should be agents.
I'll carry their water. I'll carry their bags. It's stupid, the amount of money that's out there. So, dude, we've been talking about football all season long. We talk about NASCAR, Daytona. It was fun having Chase on, right?
Spring is coming, baby.
Spring is coming. We're going to be talking about some baseball, but you know what? It is the time to dance.
It's March.
It is March time. That's right.
The Ides of March.
And so we're going to talk a little basketball here. Let's reach out to somebody.
Let's defer to an expert.
Absolutely. So we are reaching out today, and we have the delight to talk to Russ Steinberg, who's from midmajormadness.com, and he writes about college basketball. Russ, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Well, we're
not nearly as good as you, but we're all right. Yeah, I would say.
So, Russ, we ask all of our guests when we have them on, where are you calling from here?
I am at Madison Square Garden right now, covering the Big East tournament. Yeah. Had the afternoon doubleheader, just ended about an hour and a half ago, waiting for the night games to start.
And the night game, we like the Xavier pick just because they're from Ohio.
Oh, yeah, Cincy boys. Yeah.
And we're here in Ohio. So what have you seen so far in the Big East and the conference championship?
Well, this might come as a real shock to you, but Villanova is really good. They had the noon game today against St. John's, and they were
clearly
incredible.
Are they clearly above like everyone else, like athletically or their execution?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen the 2 and the 3 seeds yet. They're going to play tonight. That's Butler and Creighton, I believe. I'm sorry, Butler and Providence are the 2 and the 3 seeds. So maybe I can give you a better answer after that. But, man, Villanova, they were impressive today. The thing about them is they have a couple of the best players in the conference on the team, Jenkins and Hart and Brunson. But really, all the way down the line, they could get you. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo today, 25 points out of nowhere. It was a career high for him, and they beat St. John's today, tied for the biggest blowout in the history of this tournament, beat them by 41 points.
Wow. Wow. And it doesn't even sound like they're touching, what they can do. They're just, they're just getting through this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, this was their first game. Now, to be fair, St. John's had a really rough game last night against Georgetown in the first round. Game that went down to the last possession. I don't know if you saw the highlights, but very emotionally charged game. Had to turn around and play Villanova, one of the best teams in the country, at noon today, so it wasn't exactly a fair fight for them. But yeah, I mean, watching.
Yeah, but 41 is a thumping.
That's a thumping. No doubt about that. That's a thumping. So you said the next game is Xavier and Butler. What do you see in that one?
I mean, I like Butler, but the thing is, Xavier, they beat DePaul last night, but they really need a win against a good team to solidify their standing in the tournament. Whereas I think Butler is pretty well where they're going to be. A couple of wins this week, maybe they move up a seed line. But they're in pretty good shape. Xavier really needs a win. They've had some issues this year. They've had some injury problems. They have not been playing well of late, but this is March. This is where you start back off 0-0 and you see what happens.
Yeah, Xavier, historically, they are a thorn in the side come in March. I mean,
they're a perennial Sweet 16er, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
They know how to play in the tourney.
Yep, they do that. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, you always read about it, Xavier. You see them that they show up in the month of March.
They get there. They're there the second weekend.
They're almost like an Izzo team in the sense that they don't always show up during the season, and all of a sudden come the March Madness, and they are just they're hitting on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's funny. Year after year, it seems like we never learn. We all kind of overlook them, and then before you know it, they are in that second weekend, or they're at least upsetting someone in the first round.
Sure.
It's hard for them to sneak up on anyone anymore because they're in the Big East. But they had to play in that first game last night. They really slid towards the end of the year, but I would not be surprised they pulled off an upset.
Cool. So you got Nova, you've got Butler, maybe Xavier, any other teams coming out of the Big East going to the dance?
Well, the Big East could get as many as 7 out of their 10 teams.
Wow.
Probably not going to happen. I'd say probably 6. But Seton Hall's going. They won this afternoon as well. They beat Marquette. They actually looked really good. That team, their record's not going to be quite as good as it was last year when they won the Big East tournament. But they're red hot right now. I think it just took them a little while to put it together. I think Angel Delgado is one of the best big men in the country. And, people don't really talk about him, maybe because he plays for Seton Hall. But that'll be a team to watch out for. They play Villanova tomorrow night. I think that's going to be a really good game.
Sweet.
Cool. So we are in Big Ten country here in Toledo, Ohio, just south of Detroit, Ann Arbor. We really have nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
You got Northwestern.
Yeah, that's right. We do have Northwestern.
Yeah,
you know what? That's a feel-good story.
Yeah, the Wildcats.
Yeah, we've got Northwestern. Our Buckeyes took it on the chin, last night against Rutgers.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness the end, it's here. You know what I mean? The end is here. I'm really surprised, though. There's a lot of people screaming for Thad's head, man.
I wanted to ask you guys about that.
Yeah,
because from someone who's not connected to the program at all, I don't really understand that. I know
we don't either. I don't either. So
I'm
in your shoes, man. I mean, he's been to what, 2 or 3 Final Fours?
Yeah.
Yep.
Won 4 Big Ten championships in the tourney, a couple outright regular seasons. That's success, man. I mean.
But
that conference traditionally is brutal for basketball, man. I mean, you got Wisconsin, you got Purdue, you got Michigan State, you got Michigan.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
what have you done for me lately?
Are we that short-sighted anymore that you have a couple rough years and they hatch at you?
You lost to Rutgers, man. I mean,
that's a fair argument. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry.
It's been a bad year altogether, man. They're young. I mean,
yeah. No disrespect to Rutgers fans out there, though, but they did. I mean, it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate question to ask, but
well, you know what? The question is whether he stays or goes. Is can he recruit like he used to? I think people generally think, and I would say the output of the situation shows they're down a little bit. They're down a little bit in that level of player.
I think, and this is from a geography standpoint, you've got Kentucky to the south of you. You've got Michigan State and Michigan to the north.
Boo-hoo.
No.
Been there the whole time.
My point is that you're right. You have to out-recruit.
Kentucky to the south is brutal because they take all Southern Ohio.
Heck, even for that fact, Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati's
you got Cincinnati to the south too.
Well,
Louisville.
Louisville. Sorry.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, so from a recruiting
from a basketball standpoint, definitely for sure.
That's tough. So if you're a good kid,
you got
man.
Sparty and Michigan up front or north, and you got Purdue to the west, and.
Yeah, that's a tough call. So, Russ, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you did, Michigan's plight yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. And then they go today and they beat Illinois. Got to give them credit.
Yeah, in their practice jerseys. Because everything that was on the plane was evidence. They wouldn't give up the jerseys.
Did you see any of that
game?
What
a weird situation. I didn't. I was watching Villanova here, but I was following it.
Yeah.
What a weird situation that was. I mean, first of all, man, Illinois needed that game badly. They wanted to get in.
Right.
So that's really a killer for them. But man, think about the 24 hours. They just flew in this morning, had to go right from the airport to the arena, got there a couple hours before tip-off. They pushed the game back 20 minutes for them.
Wasn't that courteous? Wasn't that courteous? We're going to give you an extra 20 minutes to shit, shower, and shave.
Let's see.
Exactly.
Yeah, your plane crashes, it's
20 minutes.
20 minutes. I think 20 minutes is fair.
We'll let you get a little extra loose.
But the thing is, though, they didn't come in until this morning. Mm-hmm. So obviously the Big Ten knew as of sometime last night that Michigan wasn't going to be there.
Right.
So I would have expected maybe they would try to flip the 2 scheduled games in the afternoon, give them the 2:30 game at least instead of noon, something like that. I don't know what the logistics of that are, how doable that may or may not be, but man, 20 minutes out, that was rough. But I mean, again, give Michigan credit.
Absolutely. You got to do it. You got to give them some credit.
You might want to be careful because that's the kind of situation now that can really solidify them and bring them together and gel, and they can get hot. And they're talented, man. If they get hot and they get some confidence rolling, they can make some noise in the big tourney.
Yeah. Do you like we said, the Big Ten's not having the best year. Purdue is probably the class act of the Big Ten this year. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on them? Anything else in the Big Ten? I'm not sure how many teams are actually going to come out of the Big Ten this year.
4, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how many are coming out of there either, but it seems to be a league that has a lot of good teams and not a lot of really, really good teams, not a lot of second weekend teams.
Yeah.
Like Michigan's solid. Purdue's really good.
Lots of 5 seeds. Lots of 5 and 6
exactly.
seeds.
Michigan's good. Michigan State will get in. I think Maryland's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah,
but Maryland, we
nobody,
raped from the ACC, man. It's hard to consider them a Big Ten team, man. I'm not used to it.
No.
Listen, I'm a UConn fan. I know.
You feel our pain.
You don't know pain.
Brutal.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to have to toast to that one.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
So let's take it. Maybe let's widen the scope here and let's go national here. Who do you see as your top four?
Who's your one seeds?
Who's your one seeds?
Pencil in Gonzaga and Villanova, definitely. Villanova maybe might give them one overall.
Hard to argue that, man. That's really hard to argue.
Kansas lost just a few minutes ago to TCU.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They got knocked off.
I don't know that hurts them as a one, though. I still don't think it hurts them. I think they're solid
like
one.
them.
Don't you think they're a solid one still? Even with that loss, would you consider them a solid one still?
I think so.
Yeah.
My opinion.
With an asterisk.
And I think North Carolina.
There it is. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
There was a couple of good articles today out on ESPN and USA Today about Zaga. Are they really worthy of a one? And
of course they are.
They've
earned it, dude. They've earned it.
What else you got to do,
that's right.
Man?
They're 29-1.
You know, yeah. Their RPI, their RPI is decent. So I mean, it's not like they're ducking people. I mean, it's Zag. Everybody wants to play Zag. I mean,
they've earned it. Actually, I got to print out they're 30-1, which is
points. What's the points? Is that total points scored, or is that some sort of composite based?
I think that's their ranking.
A ranking score, yeah. So, and they scored 14-30, man. So
you know what? They deserve it. They're one.
I looked at a projected shield today from USA Today Sports, and they had Oregon number 1, Villanova, Carolina, and Kansas. Oregon's worthy of a one.
Oregon has a case. I think the Pac-12 is a lot better this year than it has been in the past. Oregon, UCLA, and Arizona are all really good teams. Would not be surprised if they took that last one seed.
Maybe if they win the Pac-12 tourney.
They have to win the Pac-12 tourney.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. They could. I think the only two guarantees right now are Gonzaga and Villanova. If I may talk about Gonzaga for 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Because this is it's a problem I've dealt with on my site all year. People trying to sell them short, which is it just blows my mind, really, because by every available metric we have, Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the country.
Right.
They went out and they scheduled aggressively. They beat Florida. They beat Iowa State. They beat Tennessee in what was really a road game for them. And then they ran the table in conference. And I understand the West Coast Conference isn't a very good conference, at least compared to, the Power Fives, but they beat St. Mary's 3 times. St. Mary's is a really good team. And I think there's also something to be said for not slipping up against inferior competition at all.
Yep,
You see really good teams have a bad night and drop one against a team they shouldn't. Gonzaga has never done that. They lost once to BYU. BYU's not a bad team. They're not very good, but they're not bad.
It was at BYU, though,
Gonzaga's
right?
done. No, that was at home. It was on senior day.
That's a little stinger.
That's one of the chops.
Gonzaga's done everything you could possibly ask them to do.
Yep.
They have 3 transfers on their team from Power 5 programs, so you can't tell me they don't have the talent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just the name on their jersey that I think is why people sell them short. And the fact that, they haven't made a Final Four yet is another reason, which is crazy, because if you go back to when their run started in 1999, they've been in the tournament every single year, and more often than not, they outperform their. So, they did have that year where they were a 1 seed and they lost in the second round. So fine, they were upset. They were upset a couple other times, but
it happens.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke was a 2 seed and lost to a 15 a few years ago. You're not going to knock them as a program for that.
Yep.
I will.
Well, I'm going to put a record.
I despise Duke, man. I just don't know why, but
I'm going to put on record, I like the name of their unis. I like that Gonzaga name. That is so. Okay, so you've got your the top seeds. Is there anybody that would be likely to be knocked off? Most likely, if you were to say one of those top four teams is going to go down, is there one that kind of stands out?
So it's tough. It's tough to say without knowing what the matchups are.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. I think Villanova might be the best team in the country, but I think if they ran into Gonzaga, Gonzaga they can maybe overpower them. So they might run into trouble there. But I think Gonzaga could run into trouble against a team like UCLA if they played them, because of the tempo that UCLA likes to play at. And I know Gonzaga is a better team. So it's all about the matchups, really, and who gets placed where. But if you want to look outside of, those top four teams, at teams that can maybe make a run, I like West Virginia. They always seem to fly maybe just under the radar of a team that would be picked to go to the Final Four.
Sure. Huggins, man.
I like them. I like Louisville.
The Vills. Yeah.
That's not too bold.
Always, yeah. That's always a solid one.
Patino in the tournament.
And here's another one, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cincinnati is a really good team. And the thing with Cincinnati is that in the past, they've always been excellent defensively, but they couldn't score.
Right.
That had always been their problem. Now they can put up 85 or 90 points a game if they want to, and they still play great defense.
Yep.
There's a reason they're 27-4. They are a really, really good team.
They are. I don't think they get enough love just because they're almost in the shadow of the Kentuckys, the Louisvilles.
That's a very deep spot for basketball right there, man.
That is.
And when Indiana's playing well,
and
the
that's
Buckeyes
right.
are playing well. That's a little. That's a brutal little radius of hoops, man.
It's kind of a heart. With all those those basketball teams
exactly,
there. Yeah, that's for sure. So, if you were in charge of the network, I'm not sure who is covering the championship game. Who would you want as the matchup? Which matchup would be the best, from a viewership perspective?
Well, I think first of all, you always have to go with the biggest brands if you're talking about viewership.
Yeah.
But I think that is maybe true anyway this year. I would love to see Kentucky play UCLA again.
Wow.
That was the most fun I've had watching a game this year. And I would just love to see part two of that. It could be a game in the 90s. Both teams are just absurdly talented. That would be the one I would want to see. I don't know if that's going to happen. UCLA is a team that I really, really like, and they can go far, obviously. And defensively, I'm not so sure about them. Mm-hmm. If they run into an opponent who could really slow them down,
right,
and force them into a really ugly game, they could run into some trouble. But I hope that doesn't happen. I'm rooting for them to go far because I really like watching them play.
Okay.
Cool. Good. That's interesting.
So can we put everybody on the spot here? See who maybe your heart's going for to win it all?
Who you calling to win it all, man?
We don't want to mess up your site or anything. Maybe you're going to come out with that later.
Well, because nobody else is going to do it, I'm going with Gonzaga.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, okay. We're marking that down. Russ is Gonzaga, man.
Russ is a zagger.
Yep.
And then make fun of me when I'm wrong, but nobody else is going to pick that.
No, but if you're right, you're going to be a genius. And you're going to smush it in our face. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
You should. All right, brother. Who do you say?
Man. I'm going UCLA.
UCLA? Are you kidding me?
I do like
UCLA,
come
on.
I like them.
Really?
Yes. They're out west. Trust me. They'll get a good seed. They'll get a good pass. Somebody get knocked out. They're going to be there, man.
Okay. Well, I'm. You know what? Russ is in sales, and he sold me on Nova, man.
It's a safe pick.
It is a safe pick. Eh?
Well, Mr. Conservative over here.
No,
that's why he's Brimmstone and not Fire. You're not going to look
ridiculous.
Yeah, a little saving grace. Yep.
That's beautiful.
So you got two options. That's good.
Okay. Well, that is cool, man. That's talking about some basketball. So I've got to change it. If you guys don't mind, this guy is sitting in the middle of New York City right now, the hotbed of all kinds of sports. Dude, what are the Yankees going to do this year? What's the word on the Yankees?
Man, the Yankees in the span of about a month last year went from the most boring team I've ever seen to really young and exciting.
That's right.
Right, bringing up Sanchez and Judge and Tyler Austin. They have so many good prospects either at the major league level now or on the verge. You know, they're not a championship team this year because they don't have the pitching to do it. But at the very least, I'm going to have fun watching them.
Sure. And
I think they'll be good enough to stay competitive throughout the year. If they could sneak into a wild card game, I'd love it. And, you know, if that happens and when the playoffs start, you never know. That's what I'm hoping for. Just keep me entertained.
Yeah, they've got, you know, that's such a competitive division that they're in.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you got the Sox, you got the Orioles, you got the Jays. I mean, that is really, I think that might be one of the toughest divisions in baseball by far.
You're 4 deep. You're at least 4 deep. Yeah. That's tough.
Yep. Yeah, because we're big Tigers fans here. And
okay. Well, hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the Tigers, but I am a Reds fan. So let's clear that air right now, so we totally know.
All right. Well, let's move on beyond that. Yeah. No, the Reds. I mean, the Reds. I don't know where they're going to go. And you know, the Tigers. It's going to come down to pitching, actually middle relief pitching, because they have a great tendency of. Guys can pitch 6 or 7 great innings, and then the guy comes in 1 inning in the 8th and just blows the whole doggone thing up. What do you say? And then one other thing, your Giants. I see you're a Giants fan. They got Brandon Marshall, man. So Eli, you know, he's give him a target.
I see you hanging your head.
Yeah.
I'm a Cowboys fan, man. I was hoping the G-Men wasn't going to come up.
Yeah.
We kind of skipped over. Bastards.
It is.
I just don't like the G-Men.
Give Eli Manning credit, man. He shows up. He shows up when he has to. He looks horrible doing it. Yeah, but he shows up.
But you know, the G-Men's their front office, man, is pretty good. I mean, they're getting players, and the Giants don't sink anymore. You know, they're always competitive. They're always good.
Yep.
They're always right there. I mean, Eli's got 2 rings for crying out loud.
Yeah, he backed into that second one, but he got him.
But you know what? Brady backed into one with the Seahawks. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, he kind of backed into this one, too, a little bit with the greatest choke ever. Of course, he had a major hand in that because he shredded him. But, you know, so there's 2.
There you go. So, Russ, are you in the Garden all weekend long then?
No, I'm bouncing between the Garden and the ACC tournament, Barclays Center.
Oh, wow. That's an awesome gig, dude.
Yeah, it's a fun week. This is my favorite week of the year.
Oh my God!
I'm watching Duke play Carolina tomorrow night. I can't wait for it.
Oh my gosh!
That's brutal.
So let's see. You see Nova today. You get to see Duke and Carolina tomorrow. I mean, wow! You are like in the center of the universe, basketball universe, there, man.
That is like a basketball gasm. You know what I mean? How can you get any better? I mean, if you got the Concorde, maybe fly out west for a Pac-12 late night and catch it. I mean, I don't know.
Wow!
Catch the red eye back then. Holy crap!
No, it's funny because every year I say I'm going to try to catch another one, the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or the Big 12. I never want to leave here though.
I don't blame you.
Why would you?
I don't blame you at all.
I can't bring myself to leave.
Well, going west, I could see possibly, but it's winter here, man.
Yeah, and again for everybody that's listening, we want to let everybody know as we're looking at the screen on Skype, and there's Russ. He is in the middle of Madison Square Garden.
How's the food in the Garden? Because I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, is there anything good? Any good food stuff there?
Come on.
Yeah, actually, they just renovated the arena a couple years ago, added a whole bunch of new options. I don't want to speak too loudly right now, but if you have it in your budget, it's go see what they have. They have some stuff.
We love it.
Yeah, that's called meeting a contractual obligation right there. That hurt. Yeah, we'll investigate. How's that? We'll investigate and we'll get back to you.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. So, Russ, I know that you got a game right behind you, literally right behind you, getting ready to go there. We so appreciate.
Yeah, this is great, dude.
This is an absolute blast. So I
Yeah,
got to
I had a lot
thank you
of
for
fun.
this.
Yeah.
We should stay in touch, man.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
As the tourney starts and whatnot, if you're covering any games around there, man, we'd love to have you back into the cauldron and wreak a little havoc with us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool.
That'd be cool. So everybody, that's Russ Steinberg from midmajormadness.com and also SB Nation. And we're talking to him tonight about college basketball and in the heart of it all. You know,
Yeah,
man,
the Garden.
That's right. Russ,
Dude, go enjoy the night, man.
have a great time,
thank you.
dude.
Tilt one for us.
And we'll look
I've
for
tilted about 7 for you.
There you go. We'll look for your coverage.
right.
Mid-Major Madness.
All right, sounds good.
Have a great
night,
great weekend, man.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Russ.
Yeah.
Bye. Dude, that was an absolute blast talking to Russ. He's
He's at the Garden. Oh, that's brutal, man.
I mean, we'll maybe post it on the the website, and we'll post it on Twitter and that. He was sitting right there, right in the middle of Madison Square Garden. I mean, and you
Right
could
in the stands, I mean.
Did you hear the sneakers and that?
Oh, yeah.
It was so cool. And I saw some people walking behind him. They were looking at, unfortunately, they were seeing us.
Yeah. Welcome to Fire and Brimstone, New Yorkers.
So, you know what? We will catch up with Russ as the dance goes on here.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, what a wealth of knowledge, and he's just a delight to talk to.
Boy, I guess being on the East Coast, you see so many games, you just know who's everybody. What a weekend of hoops for that guy.
He had a constant smile on his face the whole time.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah. I mean, imagine
I don't know. I'm just gonna see the greatest games all weekend.
We're gonna go from Nova to we're gonna see Carolina. We're gonna see Duke. We get some Butler. Oh yeah, right. I mean, that is
my best
awesome.
is watching a pickup game at the park.
I know.
What I mean?
That is
wrong.
absolutely awesome.
Good for him, man.
That
was a great time with him. So
that was fun. That was
we'll have to
absolutely
catch up with
fun.
him through the tourney too.
We will. There's no
he
doubt
definitely
about
knows
that.
more than us about hoops.
You think so? Yeah.
Let's not try and fool anyone there. So
no, we are not going.
Yeah.
We will reach out to anybody
Yeah,
that's
Russ.
an expert.
Russ, we're leaning on you, bro.
Yeah, that was again Russ. That was Russ Steinberg from Mid-Major Madness and SB Nation, and that was an absolute blast. So I tell you what, let's recycle back real quick. We were talking a few minutes before this about the everything going on in the NFL. And let's go back to that Romo trade. Or not the Romo trade, but the Osweiler trade that will affect Romo.
He was supposed to be released.
Yep.
I don't think he's been released yet. Now there are rumors that they are
trading him
in the midst of a trade.
Right.
All of a sudden.
Right.
So, God, he's got to be going, what the hell's going on? But with Osweiler gone, that frees up like $16 million in salary and $10 million against the cap.
Yep.
That sounds like right about his number.
It sounds like his number, doesn't it?
You know what I mean? Because he's not going to get the 24 ridiculous thing he was going to get. But I said all along, I think he would be a better fit in Houston than in Denver. For the simple fact is, the Raiders and the Chiefs defense, they like to eat quarterbacks.
Yeah, they do.
And Tony can't be eaten too many more times, or he's just going to be dead on the field.
You know what? And I'm going to add another little bit of color to that, and that the weather is better. If you're a guy that you've had injuries,
that's a good point.
You don't want to be playing. You don't want to be playing in November, December in Denver. Is not the best place in the world.
No.
You want to play where you can play in short sleeve shirts. That's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's one more thing that could happen to
Well,
him.
not only that, in addition to those things, which are a great point, Houston's in that division with who? The Colts right now, who are struggling.
Colts, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. Now, okay, Tennessee's up and coming. The Colts,
So you want to go to a division, which not that anyone would shy away from competition,
right?
But he's got to really think about his health, man. I mean, you got two defenses that just spit out quarterbacks, and 3 of those teams made the playoffs. Whereas you get down with the other division,
man. They won their division without J.J. Watt. They won it with Osweiler and everybody else, right?
To spite themselves.
That's
they won
exactly right. They almost they did everything
God,
they could.
What would they do with Romo? I mean, imagine Romo was there last year. Because, we only had one series to judge him by,
right.
but
He never missed a beat.
And another point for the Texans, I think their offensive line is better than Denver's.
I think so.
So you're safer, you're warmer, you're closer to home where you are now.
It's that's right.
That trade just happened. How is he not doing the hook 'em horn thing?
He doesn't uproot his family. I mean, his family can, if they want, they can stay put. They're down in Texas. I mean, I don't know. To me, I think that's
I want
the best
him in a
fit.
Super Bowl so bad, man. I want him in one just to shut up all the people that just destroyed him.
All right, here's one. People, you're going to hear about it. Somebody's going to say it at some point. Romo takes the Texans to the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. I mean, that's like your that is like just like a stupid thing. But people will be talking about that. He could actually face his team because that's actually not out of the realm of possibility. With a Romo, and especially if they get J.J. Watt back. Get a full year of J.J. Watt, especially with Clowney and Watt together. Two of those guys really hitting on all cylinders. That would be a tremendous defense.
You know what, man? I'd be torn, man. I would honestly be torn who I would root for.
You gotta go with Cowboys.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I'm telling you.
That'd be a tough one. That'd be a tough one.
Dude, Romo is a Cowboy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
true.
No matter what.
That's true.
It's
So it'll be interesting to see what the Browns do now. The Browns, they get the number one pick. They if they want to keep Osweiler, they have a quarterback.
Yep.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, maybe you just play him for a year. Let them just kind of go through the pay him and let it go through. I would take Myles Garrett, that defensive end from Texas A&M. He is like you could build around that guy for the next 10 years. He
had phenomenal numbers at the combine, but
yeah, he did.
He's a player first.
Yes.
I don't know why these people get all gooey goo over somebody who puts up these great numbers at a combine, because there are coaches now who coach specifically for the combine.
Right.
You pay this guy X amount of money. At the end of the day, it's football. It's on the field. It's in the film.
Yep.
I just can't fathom. Oh, my God, this guy's incredible on film, but, he only ran a 4.7 40.
Oh, I know. Seriously.
He's just not going to make it.
I know. What the hell was that? Another big thing that the Bears cut Cutler. That's not a surprise.
No.
It's not exactly
where's he going?
Chattering. He's going nowhere. He's going to go to the pizza bar or something like that.
You don't think anyone's going to grab him?
I wouldn't grab. He's not a leader. He's not. He's got a big price tag, and he's not a leader. I don't. Maybe a team that is getting their ass kicked. Like the 49ers. Maybe he goes someplace like that.
Oh, God.
But if you are a team that maybe has a chance, I wouldn't take Cutler. I mean, the Bills have some upside. I want to go Cutler.
Hell! Well, between keeping Tyrod Taylor and they got that guy called Shotgun.
Yeah,
I think you got your quarterback situation
you do too.
fairly safe.
I mean, I would not. He's got enough tape. There's enough tape on that guy that I would not pick him up. That's just me. It looks like they're going to get that Mike Glennon, who is the backup for the Bucs. He played before Winston came in.
Yep.
So I think that's probably it's probably a net. He's not going to be a Super Bowl winner, but he's probably going to play 16 good games for you. So that's kind of interesting. I did like.
But you know what? Well, then here's my problem with what you just said.
Yeah.
He's not a Super Bowl winner. Then you ain't winning the Super Bowl with him.
Don't
do it.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That can you go to the big show
if he's not a Super Bowl quarterback, because I'm sorry, it's a quarterback league and the only thing that matters is winning that ring, and you just said he can't do it.
That is a very fair point.
Why is he there?
Yep, I have to applaud you on that one. That's a very good point. And then I think Deshaun Jackson was going to the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
that I think is a nice pickup for the Buccaneers, because they already have Mike Evans.
Jameis really shut up a lot of people, man, with his play.
Yeah, absolutely.
NFL,
now you got two guys that he can throw to. My Raiders, I don't think they're really doing a lot. I don't think really the Cowboys, besides the Romo thing, are doing a lot. I don't think that there's a lot that they're. I think they're just waiting for the draft and just kind of continue to build that way. But any other? I don't know. Are there any other?
I'm pulling up some things here now, just to see if anything popped up.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like much has happened. Bears, Jeffries head to the Eagles.
Okay, that's a good one. That'll help Carson Wentz, even though Jeffries is kind of a basket case.
Latest signings here. Here we go. I don't see much, man. I don't see much yet.
Yeah. They'll be coming out the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, it late tonight, and
we'll see where AP goes. That's one that I'm just mildly interested in. I think that he could help a team, especially towards playoff time, if he could keep them healthy throughout the whole season. That would be one.
The Browns did re-sign Zeitler.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Terrell Pryor. Is there any word on Terrell Pryor? Apparently, there's a lot of teams that were actually thinking about Pryor.
How the hell would you not want that guy?
I know.
He's
a freak of nature.
He's a 1-in-15 team. He has 77 grabs for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I forget. Somebody wrote it. One article I read said something like, despite who was throwing on the ball, he still had over 1,000 yards receiving and, you're right, 70-some grabs. Not too bad. Imagine if he's with a team with a quarterback that can pitch the ball to him.
Yep.
That is not too bad at all. For a guy that never played wide receiver before in his life, that is, that tells you something about that dude. That is something else.
Yeah, he's an X-Men. He's a mutant.
He is a mutant.
He's a female and a Buckeye, and a great Buckeye at that.
Yeah, he is. Okay, dude. Hey, this is another fun one, man.
I had way too much fun.
This was an absolute blast.
We might be getting good at this. I don't know.
You know what? And so the next week, we are looking forward to being the Jimmy V, the March Madness out at the Pinnacle. Yeah, that is going to be an absolute blast out there. So that's going to be fun. We're looking forward to that. And, during the week, we'll also do some things on Facebook and some
we're
tweets about that.
We're gonna have to up that ante with that. That'll be a good time.
Absolutely.
Everybody get out there and come hang out with us. We'll interview.
Yeah, what the heck? The Cauldron.
There you go. Yeah. Welcome to the Cauldron. We should take the seats.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Have a great one.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.